Tom Mueller. The engine problem. SpaceX needed a rocket engine that was cheap and reliable at the same time. The whole rocket industry believed one old rule: better, faster, cheaper. Choose only two, never all three. No company had ever broken that rule. Mueller's team had almost no budget compared to NASA or Boeing, and any small mistake in the engine could destroy the entire rocket. So they went through hundreds of test fires, failures, and redesigns before getting it right. Mueller solved it by building the Merlin engine family from scratch with a simple design, cheaper materials, and mass-produced parts instead of custom aerospace parts for each engine. That one engine family now powers a rocket that does 52% of all global rocket launches and 84% of all satellite deployments in the world. 2024 data.
Hans Königsmann. The failure problem. Falcon 1 kept failing in its first launches. No private company had ever reached orbit before, and every failure could kill SpaceX for good. Königsmann had to find the exact reason for each crash and prove to NASA it wouldn't happen again, with the whole world watching and expecting SpaceX to fail permanently. He solved it by building a strict review and risk check process for every launch, a full check of the rocket before flight, and a complete data analysis after flight every single time. His process supported 100-plus launches with full safety reviews, and that trust-building work is why NASA later allowed SpaceX, a private company, to carry its own astronauts to space, something no private company had ever been trusted to do.
Lars Blackmore. The landing problem. Landing a rocket booster meant taking something falling from space at supersonic speed and setting it down, standing straight up, on a tiny floating platform, using only the fuel that was left. One tiny math error and the rocket crashes or misses completely, and the calculation has to be solved by the rocket's own computer in a fraction of a second, mid-flight, with no time for a human to step in. Blackmore solved it by adapting a math method from Mars landing research called convex optimization, which calculates the single best fuel-saving path down to the landing spot automatically in real time. In December 2015, this produced the first ever successful landing of an orbital rocket booster, the exact technology that made booster reuse possible, and the single biggest reason SpaceX launches cost far less than any competitor who still throws their rocket away after one use.
Brett Johnson. The money problem.
Building rockets burns enormous cash, and rockets keep failing during testing, which makes investors nervous fast. Musk himself said the company had only a 10% chance of success. Johnson had to keep raising money and managing finances year after year through repeated expensive failures, without losing investor trust or losing control of the company. He solved it by restructuring the company's finances, managing capital raises carefully, and keeping the books clean enough to survive years of failures and eventually go public. Company revenue reached $18.7 billion, and the IPO he engineered became the largest IPO in history, making his own personal stake worth over $1.4 billion overnight.
Chris Thompson. The manufacturing cost problem.
A traditional rocket tank, built the aerospace way with machined metal plates, is extremely expensive and slow to make. A startup couldn't afford to build many rockets that way. Thompson needed a cheaper way to build strong rocket tanks fast, without a big aerospace-style factory or budget. He solved it by switching to simple, welded rolled aluminum tanks, built in-house, using a hands-on welding technique he personally ran on the shop floor, instead of expensive outsourced machined parts. That decision cut manufacturing cost and time dramatically on every single Falcon 9 tank ever built. The same basic tank design has now flown on hundreds of launches.